What's going on, everybody? We're here at beautiful Victoria Park. Today we're going to be talking about retiring and the best areas to retire in the Fort Lauderdale Metro. Welcome to the Living Fort Lauderdale YouTube channel, where we cover anything and everything related to moving to or living in Fort Lauderdale and the surrounding areas. So if that's the type of stuff you're looking for, make sure to subscribe. And I am a licensed real estate broker here in the state of Florida, so just as much as I love making these videos, I love even more to help you with those real estate needs. So this number that's popping up right now, that's how you can get a hold of me. Call, text, email, any time of day, nights, weekends. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so diving right in, we got retiring in South Florida, mainly the Fort Lauderdale area. Retirement and Florida go hand in hand. They have been for decades. So I'm going to give you a couple of places that I have found online in forums. I've talked to past clients and some stuff that even you guys have commented or asked me about. And I'm going to give you some of the best places to retire in the area. Make sure to watch the whole video, because I just had a bonus one come to my head that I didn't even have planned to talk about, and I'm going to talk about that one last. So the first area I want to talk about is Hillsboro Beach, aka the Hillsboro Mile, aka Millionaire's Mile. So Hillsboro Beach is on a barrier island, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just the Atlantic Ocean is on the east and then the intercoastal is on the west. It's just a little island. One road, about 2 miles long, is Hillsboro Beach. So it's a very quiet town. You don't get a lot of transient people in there. I mean, the most traffic you'll see is just people driving through from Pompano Beach, which sits on the south side, and Deerfield Beach, which is on the north side. But it's a very popular place for retirement, for boaters. The Hillsboro Inlet is right there, so you can have your home on the ocean, and then right across the street you have the intercoastal. You can dock your boat and you're within 5 minutes of the ocean. So Hillsboro Beach is actually one of the few areas in South Florida where you're going to find single family homes on the ocean. And what makes it really special is that you don't just have the ocean, but you have the intercoastal on the other side. So it's literally just one road. It's one road. Now, one of the downsides to that could be that you have to go into town. Obviously, you have to cross the bridge if you need your, grocery shopping, stuff like that, but it's really not a big deal. You do have 2 bridges that will take you into Pompano Beach and Deerfield Beach. So you have the Hillsboro Boulevard Bridge on the north to take you to Deerfield, and you have the 14th Street Causeway on the south that will take you into Pompano Beach. One of the bonuses about living here is that everything is private, so the entire beach is private. Like I had mentioned, you have single family homes on the ocean, and then you have condos, so there's no public access to these beaches. You're not gonna see any cabanas or anything like that. It's very calm, very private, so you basically, that's your beach, you and everyone else who lives there. And like I had mentioned, there is no tourism. There is very little traffic that runs through. By no means does that mean you're far away from society. So like I had mentioned, you're right across the bridge from Deerfield and from Pompano. And then if you do want to get into a little more of that tourism beach scene where you're going to find the restaurants and nightlife, Deerfield Beach is just a couple miles north. And honestly, Deerfield Beach is pretty cool. I never really spent that much time there, but I got a chance to go up there a couple weeks ago. They got a lot of cool places as far as food goes. They have JB's on the beach, which is a popular spot for brunch. And then they have the Whale's Rib, which was also featured on that TV show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, I think it was called. So Deerfield Beach is a really cool spot. And then, of course, you have Pompano Beach. The further south you go towards Atlantic Ave is where you're going to find the fishing pier. But overall, as far as privacy goes, I would say Hillsboro Beach is going to be the top spot. As far as the price of housing goes, believe it or not, you can actually get some pretty affordable housing. So there are condos there, and you can get condos on the low end starting at about $400,000 up to just over $1 million. And as far as the single family homes go, this is where you're going to find them well into the multi-millions. I believe the highest priced one on the market right now is $15 million. And you don't see too many of them hit the market because there's only so many. There's only 2,000 people that live in the town, and there are a lot of condos, so a lot of them are taken up by the condo buildings. But just because of its exclusivity, it still has affordable living. And fun fact, actually, Hillsboro Beach is home to the most expensive home sold in the Fort Lauderdale area or Broward County. It's called Playa Vista Isles. I'm going to show you some footage of it, whatever I can find. At one point it was listed at 160 million, wound up selling for 42.5 million. So that holds the record for the Fort Lauderdale area as far as most expensive homes sold. All right, next town I want to talk about is going to be Hollandale Beach. So this is one that I haven't spoken about before. Actually, I think all these towns I haven't spoken about before. So Hollandale Beach, the furthest south you can go in Broward County. It kind of bridges the gap between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So you're just south of Hollywood and you're just north of Aventura and Sunny Isles, which is the start of Miami-Dade County. Despite its location kind of being closer to Miami, it's fairly a quiet town. And unlike Hillsboro, it does extend over the intercoastal, so central Hollandale does go to about 95. And you have a wide variety of housing options, unlike Hillsboro. You can live inland, and there's multifamily, single family, condos, townhomes. There's a ton of shopping over there. You're actually really close to the Aventura Mall, which is one of the top upscale malls in South Florida. And then you also have the Gulfstream Park, which is like a one-stop shop for shopping, dining. It's got a casino, and it has a horse racing track. So as far as neighborhoods go, there is Golden Isles is one of the ideal neighborhoods in Hollandale Beach. That's west of the intercoastal, and it's all waterfront, whether it's canals or intercoastal front. It's condos, and then you also have, obviously, mansions on the intercoastal, and you can actually get some pretty affordable living here. I knew somebody, he wasn't a past client of mine, but he was a friend of mine before I moved down here. He found a condo in Golden Isles with a VA loan, surprisingly, and he was able to get it for about $250,000. So housing is very affordable. When you figure the homes on the water, that's when we're talking $5, $6, even $10 million. Now, crossing the bridge to Hollandale Beach, the closer to Hollywood you are is where it's kind of gonna be a little bit more touristy. That's where you have the Hyde and the hotels and stuff like that. And then the further south in Hollandale you go, it tends to be a little bit more quiet, very residential, and very affordable. Condos here start in the mid 200,000s, and I've seen them range as high as about 3.5 million. So moving back up north, we have our next town, which is going to be Lighthouse Point, which is actually just west of Hillsboro Beach, east of US 1, but west of the intercoastal. So Lighthouse Point, very desirable town. There are no beaches there. However, there are bridges that will let you get to the same public beaches that Hillsboro would serve, so Pompano or Deerfield. And it's just really desirable due to the fact that it has that small town suburban feel, but you're still east of US 1, only about 15 minutes north of Fort Lauderdale. And one of the most popular things about Lighthouse Point is the safety. This may not sound like a big deal when I say it, but the town does have its own dedicated police station, dedicated fire station, and every entrance to the town has security cameras, so it records all the cars going in and out. Now, you may ask, why is that important? Every town should have a dedicated police and fire station. Well, think of it like this. Lighthouse Point, think of it more as like a community or a big neighborhood, even though it's its own separate town. So when you're east, like where the cities are, like Pompano Beach and Fort Lauderdale, we're talking 20, 30 square miles. So yes, those towns have their own dedicated fire stations and police stations, but the town is 20, 30 square miles large. So in Lighthouse Point, you're only about 2 square miles. So to have your own police station and fire station in a town that small is huge. That's one of the main drivers that brings people there, is the safety and security, and the fact that you have that suburban lifestyle while living east, because a majority of the times if you want suburbs, you gotta go west. So as far as housing goes, a majority of Lighthouse Point is single family homes, but you will find some condos and townhomes. And again, it can be affordable. You can find condos for around $200,000, but as far as single family homes go, a majority of them are gonna be waterfront. I would say they start at around $600,000, $700,000 for a non-waterfront home that probably needs a little bit of work. ranging as high again as 5 million. We even see some homes listed for 15-20 million here. And I did just check the available inventory in Lighthouse Point, so just to give you an idea of the price range, because I know it can be kind of difficult when giving such a big range, but 3/4 of the inventory is over $1 million. So that just tells you what type of area it is. Now, when it comes to retiring, I know a lot of retired people love to play golf. There's a ton of golf courses in Florida as it is, but I just wanted to throw this little bonus one in there. It's actually a neighborhood in Fort Lauderdale, and it's called the Coral Ridge Country Club Estates. So you're only about 5 minutes to the beach, and you have the Coral Ridge Country Club. So this is different from the Coral Ridge neighborhood, which I have spoken about. This is Coral Ridge Country Club. So this is like your one chance to live in the city, well, the suburban part of the city, and be 5 minutes from the ocean, and your backyard is on a golf course. So the homes here have a lot of character, kind of an old school charm to them, and it's just really cool because when you're driving through, you don't really get that Fort Lauderdale tropical feel. You get country club feel, but like I said, you're 5 minutes from the ocean. Now the prices of homes here are going to be fairly higher, in the millions. However, if you like golf, that's just one golf course. Coral Ridge Country Club, I mean, you can live anywhere within 10 to 15 minutes of it. You obviously have to have a membership there, but I just wanted to throw in that little bonus neighborhood because I just thought about it last minute, and I know a lot of retired people like to golf. Now, like I said, there's golf courses everywhere, suburbs, in the cities, a little bit north, a little bit south. So if there's any questions that you have about retiring to South Florida, I'm going to leave my number up here again so you can reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have and help you in any way that I can. So again, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.